Okay, I'm just walking home from the tramway and I've been thinking about my time and how I spend my time. And I wanted to share with you a few thoughts and a few tips on time management in order to help you be more effective, in order to help you utilize your time towards your goals. How much time do you spend every week riding the tramway, riding the bus, waiting in lines, sitting in taxis, being stuck in traffic? How much time do you use every week that could be maximized in other ways? As the tramway goes past, how many people are using their time well? How many people are actually taking time to educate themselves through what they're listening to, through what they're reading, through getting stuff done, replying to emails, drawing, writing? How many people are maximizing their time, and how many others are just staring out the window, letting their mind wander, and their time is basically just a waste? It's time lost. Just reading 10 pages a day means you're going to get through 15 books every year. Now, how many books are you reading every year right now? And how would your life be affected if you were blitzing through 15 books every year? That's just 10 pages a day. With the simple tools of a phone and a pair of headphones, through these things you can access a world of information. And you can use the time while you're in transport, while you're waiting for the bus, while you're waiting for somebody to pick you up. You can redeem that time. You can maximize that time by educating yourself, by filling your mind with new information. You can learn language, improve your English. You can listen to podcasts about subjects that interest you. It might be history, it might be science, it might be marketing. For me, I listen to podcasts about real estate, about finances, about parenting, about marriage. You can use the time to connect with God, build up your faith. The one thing I do see people doing on the tramway from time to time is reading the Quran. Or you can listen to music that you find uplifting, that builds up your spirit, what I would call worship music. Okay, and you can't use money as an excuse. These aren't things that cost anything. With a Wi-Fi connection, you can download all these resources to your phone, and then even without any credit on your phone, you can access them when you have some time. Trying to fill up the dead time, the little spaces between the big events in your schedule, it's kind of like, imagine a bucket filled with big rocks. Okay, and the big rocks are the important things, the main things you do. So if you're a student, it's going to class. If you're an employee, it's going to work, eating meals, hooking up with friends. But the dead space is all the little cracks in between those big things in your schedule. So imagine taking that bucket filled with big rocks and just pouring sand. And the sand flows down in between the little rocks and fills in all the spaces. Okay, and you can't underestimate how much that adds up over time. Like I said, if you read 10 pages a day, you're going to knock off between 15 and 20 books in a year. And so you might think, I don't have time to read 20 books in a year. But reading 10 pages while you're riding the bus, well, that sounds a whole lot more realistic. Or listening to a book on one of the apps like Audible or iBooks, listening to a book that you've purchased or that you've borrowed from the library there, just for 5 minutes a day, adds up to about 15 books a year. That sounds far more doable. And so you can increase your education, you can increase your personal growth and your development simply through redeeming the time, simply through filling in the cracks in your schedule by educating yourself. All right, I just pulled into Rabat, just drove from Casa, and I could have listened to Hit Radio the whole way here and had a good time, but instead I listened to a French podcast twice because I don't understand everything the first time around, and then I've been listening to a real estate podcast coming from the area of Canada that I choose to invest in. So it's a good use of my time. That hour was well invested in my personal education. Okay, so it's a great example. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with listening to music, but if if you can exchange some of the time you would normally spend doing that to invest it in your education, you'll be better off in the long run. I challenge you to fill the cracks of your schedule with useful things that will help you grow. Until next time, get wisdom. Even if it costs you dearly, get wisdom.